Hey, it's Ricardo and welcome back to Elite Dangerous Beyond. Yes, a few Elite Dangerous videos coming your way recently. I'm just starting to get back into the game. Taking a bit of time off like I think a lot of people have. And something that got introduced back in August of 2019 was a new band of engineers. In particular, the one I want to talk to about today is Chloe Sedesi. Yes, Chloe Sedesi is an engineer down in the Witch Head Nebula, and you get an invitation after unlocking a certain engineer tree. Now, she specializes in particular in items such as drives and frameshift drives, all the way down in the Witch Head. Plus, you can also get a little sneaky thing I don't know if people check about, but it's cargo holds that are corrosive resistant. Yes, corrosive resistant cargo holds. That's what Chloe's all about. So, here I am. I'm going to change my ship. I also need to unlock a little item called Unknown Fragments or Sensor Fragments. They changed Unknown Fragments to Sensor Fragments in one of the recent updates. And as a result of which now, don't go looking for Unknown Fragments, right? One or the other. Now, Chloe Sedesi, like I said, is down in the Witch Head Nebula. You've got to go down there and furnish her with 25 Sensor Fragments. And also there are some prerequisites which I think a lot of people who get access to that will find no problems. Now, Chloe Sedesi has served as a number of artificer apprenticeships before joining Professor Ishmael Palin. Yes, good old Professor Palin. She's one of his grunts as a mechanic. Now, effectively she's become a vital team of his staff, displaying remarkable aptitude for a variety of technical disciplines. When the Witch Head Enclave was established, Chloe resigned from Palin's with his blessing and travelled to Cinder Dock to offer similar type engineering experience to Professor Palin. Now, as we know, Professor Palin got relocated. So like I say, you've got to travel at least 5,000 light years away from your start position, be introduced, and have all those sensor fragments. Now, I'm typically in the bubble at the moment, and as a result of which it's going to take me about 20 to 21 jumps to get myself, my sorry old ship, all the way from the bubble down to the Witch Head Nebula. Not a problem. I'm not going to bore you with all this though, however. With the magic of video editing, just be aware it all happened. Took me about an hour of jumping, did some scanning along the way, sold some cartographic data, and then lo and behold, I turned up in the Witch Head Nebula. Now, like you mentioned earlier on, you've got to supply 25 units of sensor fragments. Now, fortunately, I've done an awful lot of work around about the Thargoid sites and destroying Thargoids and picking up items and going after Thargoid crash sites where the scouts have dropped all their bounty. And I've collected the maximum of 100 fragments that I could possibly collect. However, that'll have to be replenished once I go down and give Chloe her 25. So it's time to jump in to the Inquisitive Badger, my Asp Explorer, and get myself off down to the Witch Head Nebula. Now, Chloe does specialise in frameshift drives and thrusters, grade 3 and grade 5. So nothing that's going to put the world alight, really. So I'm going to head on down there now, and you know what it's like. It's lots of hyperspacing and refueling and scanning and all that sort of stuff to get you from one part of the galaxy to the other. Now, as you get towards the Witch Head Nebula, one thing I think is really important to point out, there's an awful lot of permit locked places. And as you get within the system, within the Witch Head Nebula, you can also notice there's an awful lot of, unidentified signal sources. The Thargoids are still out there. They're very much active in that sector still. They've all, withdrawn down there, and you can see as I've scanned that beacon, non-human signal sources in the Witch Head sector that I'm particularly in. Now, on approach to Cinder Dock, there's no dramas there. It's on a planet. It's a big old base as well. Nice and easy. I didn't get any resistance from any ships in the system either. I was typically left alone, and at the moment it's all under Federation. Zachary Hudson is the current controlling politician there at the moment. As I mentioned, on approach, nice big old base, lots of big landing pads. You can get in your SRV and you can tootle around there should you want to. But primarily, if you're in the area and you haven't done all your upgrades, then this is the place to get your frameshift drive upgraded and to get some thrusters done as well. Now, for me, I've already got all that done on my Asp Explorer. But to go down there for completeness and unlock that particular engineer was the entire purpose of me coming down here. Now, as I mentioned, and as I dock, Chloe Sedesi does indeed specialise in thrusters and frameshift drives. And all the lore behind this is that in August 3305, she arrived in the Witch Head Nebula to establish her own engineering workshop at Cinder Dock. Her workshop is one of the only places where you can get a Class 1 Corrosion Resistant Cargo Rack, which can then be purchased. You can get a 1-tonner or a 2-tonner. So, anyway, as you can see, I'm going to go in and I'm going to repair, I'm going to refuel, I can sell all my cartographic data as well once I've built up a rapport as well with this particular engineer. Now, going into outfitting, that's where you're going to be able to go and get those lovely cargo racks. But all this being said, it was quite an easy and effortless journey down to the Witch Head Nebula. Finding Chloe's dead easy, you find that in the journal. Go into the engineer workshop, you can see engine and frameshift drives are what it's all about. We're going to donate our sensor fragments, good old 25 of those. And then you can see thrusters. Well, I've got Class 3 dirty drive tuning as well. If I click select, it says the legacy modification cannot be converted because the engineer is not powerful enough. So I have to go and see yet another engineer at the other side of the galaxy to get that sorted out and get that converted. Flameshift drive, well, I'm already on increased frameshift drive range as well, but you can also, like I said, get increased range, shielded frameshift drives and faster boot sequences as well, should you want to. So, same with the drives. Bit of an oversight on my behalf really, but if you have made the conversion or you're a relatively new player, you shouldn't run into this problem at all whatsoever. This is for all our legacy players like myself who have gone through engineering before the massive changes. I think at the end of last year, travelling 20 trips, doing a bit of honking and scanning the areas. Now, all that being said, money is money. Let's talk a little about those cargo racks. So, going back into outfitting and the outfitting section at Cinder Dock. There's my lovely asp. Into optional internals. Select a particular slot that you're looking for. And you can see I've got an SRV bay as well. I'll select, just for completeness, a 2E cargo rack. Let's browse the shop. Into cargo racks. And there you can see capacity 1. 1E corrosive resistant cargo rack or a 1F capacity 2 cargo rack. 6,000 credits, give or take, and also 12,249 credits for a capacity 2. Now, as you're in the Thargoid area where all the sites are, might be worthwhile stopping off and having a good look at some of those Thargoid sites, picking up some more fragments, getting some more Thargoid artifacts, picking up and checking on what the Thargoid sites are like now. Have they grown? Have they remained the same? These are the questions that need to be asked. Anyway, I've been Ricardo. This has been my trip down to Chloe Sedesi in the Witch Head Nebula, an engineer that came out in August of 2019. I've only just got round to doing it, so I say I'm getting back into Elite Dangerous. And hey, as commanders, we've got to have something to do. As I've mentioned, an easy trip all the way down here. No drams at all whatsoever. She's got a nice old big base, not like the old ragtag shambles that Palin used to work out of before his relocation. Get yourself down there, get your sensor fragments in, and do a bit of engineering. Like I say, I've been Ricardo. This has been Elite Dangerous. Thanks very much for watching. Check out the back catalogue, like and subscribe if you haven't done so. See you soon, and happy engineering.